Hello everybody, it's so nice to see you, except I can't, of course. You can see me. I wish I could see you, but never mind. Let me introduce myself first of all. My name is Joanna Forbes L'Estrange, and some of you might recognise me from Jersey Sings from the last few summers. I've been singing solos with you, standing at the front, and now here I am teaching you some songs for your World War II medley instead. And I'm joined by my amazing husband, Alexander L'Estrange, and together we're just going to recap about 3 of the songs from your medley, ready for you to make your brilliant video, which is such a good idea, and I can't wait to see it. Don't worry if you've never done that before, by the way. It's very easy. You just get a phone, and if you haven't got a phone, then James Muse says he can always get hold of a phone for you. And you balance it somewhere in front of your face, like I've done here with mine, and you just do a big smile and sing your song into the phone, and then a clever person is going to join all those different videos together and make a massive, brilliant YouTube video. So before we actually look at the songs, I'm just going to say a couple of things, which is hi from the Jersey Sings team, which is run by the charity Music in Action and sponsored by Apex. Thank you, Apex, in partnership with the Orioli Community Choir, I hope I've said that correctly, and the Jersey Music Service. So as well as doing things like this, teaching you how to sing songs, I do things like singing on film soundtracks. I sang on Kung Fu Panda and Harry Potter and Star Wars and James Bond, and it's a really cool job. But I also love doing this, which is teaching songs to choirs like you. So we can't be together, but we can do a wonderful job of this video. This is the 4th out of 4 videos, so I think you've already watched some. And then you're going to record the songs. So first of all, you need to ask your parents to sign the consent form, which is on the musicjersey.com/useful links. So you just go there, and I believe there's a small charge of 60p to take part in this, and that can be refunded as well if you don't have a spare 60p. So basically everybody is welcome, because we want everybody to have a fantastic time singing these brilliant songs from World War II. So from the sort of 1940s, which was even before I was born. But these are fantastic songs, and I've been asked to go over 3 of them with you, starting with Roll Out the Barrel. Now, I know you're probably going to be doing this from memory, aren't you? Because children are brilliant at memorising. So what I've done is I've given you the words here. They're very easy, these words, aren't they, compared to some of the other ones. And I just want you to sing it with a really big smile on your face, because you know what this song is all about. It's about when the people in the army relax a bit and have some fun, because in between all of the scary and frightening and dangerous things people have to do in the army, they do occasionally have a little bit of a party. And so that's what this song is all about. And the bit I love the most is when the person who wrote the words tried to think of something to rhyme with barrel and realised there wasn't anything. So he or she wrote sing boom talarrel, which is really funny because it's just a made up word. Sing out a song of good cheer. Here we go. This is a really nice song for a morning. I don't know whether it's the morning where you are, but it is where I am. And I feel just in the mood for singing this happy song. Here we go. Roll out the barrel. Let's have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel. We've got the blues on the run. Sing boom talarrel, sing out a song of good cheer. Now's the time to roll the barrel, 'cause the gang's all here. Did you sing that with me? I hope you did. I love sing out a song of good cheer. I love that line. It really makes me happy. And the other line I like is we've got the blues on the run. Do you know what the blues are? The blues are when you're feeling a little bit glum. I bet some of you have been having the blues during this lockdown. I certainly have. But the best way to get rid of the blues, do you know, is to sing and have a good time. So that's why this song is so important. Right, we are now going to sing This Is the Army, Mr. Jones. Another really fun, upbeat song. This is all about a chap called Mr. Jones who joined the army and was a bit shocked to realise that it was a bit harder than being at home. He couldn't have his own room, he couldn't have his own phone, and he couldn't have breakfast in bed. Can you think of anything worse? I think I only have breakfast in bed about twice a year, on maybe Mothering Sunday and on my birthday, but I think Mr. Jones was used to having it quite a lot, so he's in a bit of a shock. And then we meet Mr. Green, and we like the barracks nice and clean. So Mr. Green was used to having a cleaner before to sort out his dirty floor, and now he's got to do it himself. So they're all in a little bit of a shock. And then in between those two verses, it says, do what the buglers command. They're in the army and not in a band. So the buglers are the people who play those trumpets, like that, to wake up everybody in the morning and apparently to send them to sleep again in the evening. So they're not just there to play happy tunes, but actually to make you get out of bed in the morning. So here we go. This is the first verse. This is the Army, Mr. Jones. Sing along with me. This is the Army, Mr. Jones. No private rooms or telephones. You had your breakfast in bed before, but you won't have it there anymore. Should we do that again? It's really good. You've got to sing it with lots of expression. So not like this. This is the Army, Mr. Jones. I know you would never do it like that. But with loads of expression, as if you're the sergeant and you're explaining to this chap called Mr. Jones what the army is all about. Okay, so here we go. This is the Army, Mr. Jones. No private rooms or telephones. You had your breakfast in bed before, but you won't have it there anymore. Ah, that was so much better. I hope you're standing up when you're doing this, because it's really nice if you stand lovely and tall, like Nikki Kennedy was talking about in her video. Always imagining that you're as tall as can be. It makes such a difference to your singing. Now, that little middle section is do what the buglers command. This bit makes me laugh because I say command like this, command. And it doesn't rhyme with not in a band. So some people say command, which actually would be better, wouldn't it? So you have to decide which way you say it. I'm going to say command because I'm from Surrey in England, and that's how I spoke when I was growing up. So there we are. Here we go. It's going to go like this. Do what the buglers command. They're in the army and not in a band. Should we do it together? So you've just had this, but you won't have it there anymore. Then you have to step up to la. So there, da, da, there, up to a fourth. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Do what the buglers command. They're in the army and not in a band. Well done. And then finally, this is the Army, Mr. Green. Okay? So I'm wearing my green top here to help you remember that. And Alexander's got his grey top on. So we're sort of matching the pictures on this screen here because we're wearing army colours to help you, okay? So now it's Mr. Green. We like the barracks nice and clean. You read the words and I'll sing along with you. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. This is the Army, Mr. Green. We like the barracks nice and clean. You had a housemaid to clean your floor, but she won't help you out anymore. Fantastic. Should we sing that song all the way through and then we'll look at the last song?
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is the Army, Mr. Jones. No private rooms or telephones. You had your breakfast in bed before, but you won't have it there anymore. Do what the buglers command. They're in the army and not in a band. This is the was fantastic. Right, we're going to look at the last song now, which is Bugle Boy, and goodness me, what a lot of words we have for this one. But don't panic, because the most important line in this song, even if you leave out all of the others, is, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. And that line comes 5 times in the song. I want you to say that with me first of all. Can you say it? So it goes like this. We'll start a bit slower. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Should we speed it up a bit? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Should we make Alexander do it on his own? Shall we?
Shall I try not to say
Here we
Boogie,
go.
Boogie, Boogie?
1, 2, 3.
He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B.
Do you reckon? Not bad. Not bad. Should we put the notes to that now? So it goes.
He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B.
He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Okay, and your turn. 1, 2, 3. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. And then the last time you sing this, at the very end of the song, at the bottom of the lyrics there, it goes, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. So should we try that one as well? 1, 2, 3. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Very good. So, before we put the notes to this song, because I know there are a lot, we just need to think a little bit about the words. With a song like this, it's all about expressing the words. It's not really about where you place that S, or where you place that T, or where you do a breath. I know some songs are all about that, but this one isn't. This is a story. This is a story about a famous man who plays the trumpet, and he's from Chicago in America. And he was brilliant at playing the boogie style. Alexander, show us the boogie style. That is called Boogie Woogie, okay? And he was brilliant at doing that. And no one else could play it as well as he could. In fact, it says he was the top man of his craft. I came out to Jersey a couple of summers ago with my friend Mark Armstrong, who is a brilliant jazz trumpeter. So I always think of him when I sing this song. And he came and did a jazz gig with us, and he really is the top man of his craft. But then, in the story, his number came up and he was gone with the draft. Do you know what that means? That means he was called up to be in the army. So he couldn't just spend his time doing brilliant jazz gigs anymore. He had to go and be in the army in America. He's in the army now, a-blowing reveille. Now that was a really interesting word, isn't it? It looks French, doesn't it? Réveil, which means wake up. But what you say for this song is reveille, so you say it in a sort of different way, and it means to wake up all the people in the army in the morning. So that's his job, the bugle man now. Instead of playing Boogie Woogie in his jazz clubs, he's now playing Boogie Woogie to the army when he does his reveille in the morning to wake them all up. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. And then in the second verse, they made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. Now that's not his actual Uncle Sam, that's what they used to call the American Army, Uncle Sam. And it really brought him down because he couldn't jam. He wasn't very good at doing the jazz. And the captain seemed to understand, because the next day the that's the captain, went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. And so they jump out of bed because it sounds so fantastic. Can you imagine this jazz trumpeter? And he's now got a band with him. He's probably got a double bass. He's probably got some drums. I bet he's got a keyboard of some kind. So this is like, way, I want to get out of bed. This is such cool music. And then we get a little bit of a break, don't we, from all these words, because we go a root, a doot, a doodly doodle doo. He blows it 8 to the bar. So that's fun. That's just a time for us to pretend that we're playing the trumpet. He blows it 8 to the bar in boogie rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what that means. He can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is blowing with him. I love that rhyme. I love the rhyme of in boogie rhythm with is blowing with him. So enjoy that one. He makes the company jump. So he jumps out of bed just like you do every morning. Woo, it's a new day. When he plays reveille, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Should we just do that much so far? So I just want you to say the words first. It's quite fast. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. He was a famous trumpet man from Mount Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man of his craft. But then then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. How did you do? How did you do? Yeah, not bad. Let's do verse 2 now. They made him blow a bugle. A 1, 2, 3. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Very good. I think you did better than me then because I got a bit lost halfway through that. And then a root, toot, toodly doodle doo, he blows it 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is blowing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Woo! How are you doing with all those words? Shall we sing it now? It's much more fun with the notes, isn't it? But you tell that story, and if you forget a word here and there, or you want to take a word off to have a bit of a breath, that's fine, as long as it's not in that last line, because I want you all. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Okay, here we go.
I'll give you an intro.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could bay. He was the top man of his craft, but then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. How did you do? How did you do? Pretty good. Let's do the next verse now. Here we go after Alexander's introduction.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Bugle Bugle Boy of Company B. Did you manage it? I think I got away with it. So let's do the next section, which is a root, toot, a doodly doodle doo. He blows it 8 to the bar. Here we go with me. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. A root, toot, doodly doodle doo. He blows it 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is blowing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Now, you get to dance about while the bucking plays the instrumental. You can do this if you want, or you can just move your shoulders. Okay, so in that section of the video, when you've got your face on the screen, probably the size of a little stamp like that, with so many faces on the screen, you can't just stand and stare, because that will look a bit funny. So when the instrumental bit starts, you just need to dance along and then be ready to come back in. But he puts the boys to sleep with Boogie every night. I don't know how they managed to get to sleep with someone playing trumpet boogie woogie in their ear, but there we are. So now what we're going to do is sing the last line. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B that we've just sung. Then dance about so we get used to seeing how long this instrumental bit is, and then I'll bring you in for the next verse. Okay, so here we go. He's a 1, 2, 3. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B.
Woo!
You could do this if you wanted to. You could just do this, or just move your shoulders. Here we go. He puts the boys to sleep with Boogie every night and wakes them in the same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know how he plays when someone gives it a beat. He really breaks it up when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. How did you do? How did you do? He puts the boys to sleep with Boogie every night and wakes them up the same way in the early bright. That means in the morning. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know how he plays when someone gives him a beat. He really breaks it up when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Let's do that verse. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. He puts the boys to sleep with Boogie every night and wakes them in the morning same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know how he plays when someone gives him a beat. He really breaks got the root toot toot section right at the bottom of the words there. And this is the bit where the tune changes right at the end. So don't forget that. So instead of going, and the company jumps when he plays reveille, he's the boot. Instead of that, it goes, and the company jumps when he plays reveille, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. So that bit's different, isn't it? Should we just practice that? And the company, 1, 2, 3. And the company jumps when he plays reveille, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. That's it, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3. And the company jumps when he plays reveille, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. That's it, so you need to be ready for that. So let's do that last section, the root toot toots. Here we go. A 1, 2, 3. A root toot toodly doodly doo. He blows it 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is flowing with him. Here comes the change. And the company jumps when he plays reveille, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. And then you might want to do jazz hands, or just a big smile, or da-da, just something to show that you're not the end of the song, the band is. You've done so well. I think we should sing that song all the way through, and at the end I want you to give me a mark out of 10, depending on how many mistakes I make, and I know that you're already going to get 10 out of 10, so I'm not going to give you a mark. See how many of these words you can get. They're all there for you. See how much expression you can put into this story, okay? And most important of all, every time the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B comes, really enjoy yourselves and sing that out. Here we go, all the way through.
Bars. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man of his craft, but then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. A root toot toodly doodle doo. He blows it 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is blowing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Well done! Now you get to have a little dance. Here we go. He puts the boys to sleep with boogie every night and wakes them in the same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know how he plays when someone gives him a beat. He really breaks it up when he plays reveille, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. A root toot toodly doodle doo. He blows it 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is blowing with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille, he's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. How did you do? How did you do? I bet you were fantastic. Whew! I don't know about you, but I'm out of breath after all that. Do you know what we're going to do now? We are going to sing through the whole medley together. Right, are you ready to sing it all the way through with the backing track? Are you ready? There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow, just you wait and see. There'll be joy and laughter and peace ever after tomorrow, when the world is free. The shepherd will count his sheep, Kiss me goodnight, Sergeant Major. Tuck me in my little wooden bed. We all love you, Sergeant Major. When we hear you bawling, show a leg. Don't forget to wake me in the morning and bring me round a nice hot cup of tea. Kiss me goodnight, Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major, be a mother to me. On the farm, every Friday, on the farm, it's rabbit pie day. So every Friday that ever comes along, I'll get up early and sing this little song. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Bang, 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 bang goes the farmer's gun. So run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't give the farmer his fun, fun, fun. He'll get by without his rabbit pie. So run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Here we go. Bless 'em all, bless 'em all, the long and the short and the tall. Bless all the sergeants and WO1s. Bless all the corporals and their blinking sons, 'cause we're saying goodbye to them all. And back to their billets they crawl. You'll get no promotion this side of the ocean, so cheer up my lads, bless them all. Roll out the barrel, let's have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel, we've got the blues on the run. Sing boom to laurel, sing out a song of good cheer. Now's the time to roll the barrel, 'cause the gang's all here. This is the army, Mr. Jones. No private rooms or telephones. You had your breakfast in bed before, but you won't have it there anymore. Do what the buglers command. They're in the army and not in a band. This is the army, Mr. Green. We like the barracks nice and clean. You had a housemaid to clean your floor, but she won't help you out anymore. Here we go. We can do it. He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man of his craft, but then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. A root, toot, a toodly doodle doo. He blows it 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is blowing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. Little dance. How are you doing so far? Are you ready? He puts the boys to sleep with Boogie every night, and wakes them in the same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and stamp their feet, because he knows that he plays when someone gives him a beat. He really breaks it up when he plays reveille. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. A root, toot, toodly doodle doo. He blows it 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.